The High Republic Phase 3 has already begun with the excellent comic Shadows of Starlight Issue 1, but the first adult novel, The Eye of Darkness, comes out soon. To prepare, here is a quick summary of the first two phases of the High Republic. 2 centuries before the events of the Star Wars films, a group of marauders called the Nile destroy a ship as it travels through hyperspace, sending debris across the Outer Rim. The Jedi and the Republic work to offer relief to various planets thanks to a space station called Starlight Beacon. Avar Kriss leads the charge. Debris threatens the planet Trimant 4, where a small religious group called the Elders of the Path live. They believe use of the Force is immoral. The Jedi arrive to help while the Nile invade and kidnap one of the Elders. Master Yoda rescues him and they both investigate the Nile together. Jedi Padawans take in a Force-sensitive civilian named Zine. The Nile attacks continue under the command of their leader, Marchion Ro. They're able to use special paths through hyperspace thanks to a Force-sensitive captive they kidnapped long ago named Mari Santeca. Marchion sacrifices a large portion of his forces in a failed attack against the Jedi to lull them into a sense of confidence that the Nile are on the run. Meanwhile, Marchion captures a Jedi named Loden Greatstorm. A team of Jedi stumble across a long-abandoned space station filled with plant life. Inside, they find 4 statues imbued with the dark side. They take the relics back to Coruscant for safekeeping, but their actions inadvertently awaken a group of carnivorous plants called the Drengir that begin spreading across the Outer Rim. The Jedi team up with the Hutt cartel to capture the progenitor of the Drengir, placing it and all its offspring back into stasis. Believing the Nile to be defeated, Chancellor Lina So of the Republic plans a fair to celebrate the various cultures of the Outer Rim. The Nile attack the celebration, resulting in massive civilian loss. The Jedi drive them into a retreat back to their base where Loden Greatstorm is rescued, but before fleeing further, Marchion unleashes a mysterious creature against the Jedi. It feeds on Loden, turning him into a pile of dust. The Jedi begin investigating the cause of his death and learn that the Nile have under their control a being known as a Shriekarray, or Eater of the Force. A young Jedi Knight named Vernestra Rowe looks into another Nile weapon that is rumored to be able to disrupt hyperspace. She finds a space station called the Gravity's Heart and shuts it down before it can be finished. There, Vernestra also meets Mari Santeca, who gives the Jedi a hyperspace path before passing away. Avar Kriss chases a Nile named Lorna D across the galaxy, believing she is the leader of the Nile. Her obsession takes her far away from her duties on Starlight Beacon. In her absence, the Nile infiltrate the space station, sabotage it, and send it crashing into the oceans of the planet Irem. Many Jedi are lost to several Shriekarray that are also set loose on Starlight Beacon. Simultaneously, the Nile attack Corellia, but their attempts are stopped thanks to the efforts of several Jedi, including Yoda, who returns from his investigation. In the aftermath of the attacks, the Jedi Council recalls every member of the Order back to Coruscant so they can learn how to combat the Eaters of the Force. Marchion Ro publicly announces his responsibility for all the Nile attacks and sets up a network of devices based off of the Gravity's Heart space station. They're able to disrupt hyperspace travel, destroying any ship that attempts to enter Nile territory. That brings us to the end of Phase 1. Phase 2 jumps back 150 years into the past. On the planet Dalna, we meet the predecessors of the Elders of the Path, known as the Path of the Open Hand. They're led by a woman called the Mother, and like the Elders, they believe use of the Force is evil. The Mother is given a mysterious purple egg by a hyperspace prospector who claims to have found it on a paradise-like planet that's nearly impossible to reach. A member of the Path named Marta Ro meets a Jedi named Kevmo and becomes infatuated with him despite his use of the Force. As he attempts to learn more about the Path, the egg hatches, revealing itself to be a young Shriekarray which feeds on and kills him. The Mother declares it is time to leave Dalna and head for a spiritual center of the galaxy, Jedha. A Jedi friend of Kevmo's named Aslan begins investigating his sudden disappearance. Meanwhile, 2 neighboring planets, Irem and Arano, have spent generations locked in war. As the Republic expands near their territory, they hope to help the 2 worlds find peace with one another. They not only arrange a wedding between the 2 royal families, but also plan for the signing of a peace treaty on Jedha. There, the Path of the Open Hand cause chaos by denouncing the Jedi and secretly unleashing their Shriekarray into the city. Every Force user on the planet is affected by its power, and a riot breaks out. The Mother causes further destruction by orchestrating the bombing of the peace talks between Irem and Arano. Their forces throw the Holy City into a bloody battle. During the confusion, Path members are able to steal a relic that will help control their growing shriek array before returning to Dalna. The Jedi suspect the Path of the Open Hand are responsible for the Battle of Jedha. As their forces gather, the Mother sends members of the Path, including Marta Rode, to the paradise-like homeworld of the Eaters of the Force. Many lives are lost in the process of gathering several eggs and returning back to Dalna. The Jedi and the combined armies of Eiram and Erino descend upon the planet, and the Battle of Dalna begins. Aslan Rel witnesses the creature that killed his friend firsthand, and it drives him mad. Over the course of the fighting, Marta learns that the Mother is actually Force-sensitive and has been seeking revenge against the Jedi for taking her sister into the Order while leaving her behind. Marta takes control of the Path, kills the Mother, and destroys all but the original Shriek Array before escaping. In the coming years, she regrows her following and transitions it more closely into what we know of as the Nihil. Aslan Rel abandons the Jedi and seeks to learn more about the Eaters of the Force on his own. And that catches us back up to the end of Phase 2, where the Eye of Darkness will pick back up about 1 year after the events of the fall of Starlight Beacon. This was just a very quick summary to provide a recap. It always hurts to quickly summarize these stories and not even mention the names of my favorite characters, but hopefully this gets High Republic fans ready for the third and final phase of this publishing initiative. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for our continuing High Republic coverage, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.